Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you process journals. If you're watching this, that means that we have just completed a clay project. Before clay can be fired inside the kiln, it has to wait for at least 2 weeks. The reason is because along with any bubbles that might be in the clay, if the clay is still wet, it could cause an explosion in the kiln, which would be no fun for me or you. So in the meantime, we're going to work on a fun project called Process Journals. Right now in Plano, students all across all the schools, so middle school, high school, elementary, are required to do process journaling in their art classes. What this means is that this is a journal for you to record your ideas, come up with ideas, and basically play with different markers, crayons, and materials that will help you learn a little bit more about what you've already learned. So this is your chance to be creative, try out some of your drawing and maybe some painting skills as well. This year, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade did their clay projects at the same time. I'm still waiting on them to dry. Please don't ask me when it will be ready. I will let you know as soon as possible. Hopefully on your way in, you picked up the required sheets of paper. You just need one of each. And then the last one is going to be a blank sheet of paper. So hopefully you brought those with you. And also you have chosen a folder. Double check right now, oops, getting blurry, that your folder has brads in it. So for instance, this purple one, if I wanted this one, you want to make sure that has brads. This one does not, so you may have to come back over and find one that does have the brads. Today we'll be using a few different tools to create your process journals. Right now you should have the papers, but when this video is over, I'm gonna put out the hole puncher. It's a 3-ring hole puncher. If you've never used one before, I'm gonna show you how, because you only get one chance to do it. I don't want you wasting my paper. You take them, get your papers nice and neat. I usually kind of stack them on the table just to make sure that they're right. And then you carefully stick it underneath the holes. Double check and make sure it will go as far as it can. And then one time, you'll press the handle, lift up, let it go, and then pull out. And you should have 3 holes so that now we can put them in our folder. If there's any stickers or if there is a name over the folder already, because these were donated, so sometimes people use them before us, you can either rip off the sticker, or if there's a name, you can either cross it out, or we can take some tape and we can cover it up. On the middle table, I have some jumbo Sharpies for you to use if you want to. I would like it if it's somewhere on the cover, the folder, that you write your name. So I'm gonna write Mr. Boatfield, but please write your name sometime today, and also your class code. I will tell you your class code and then write it on the board later today, but I just want you to watch for now. All right, so now it's time to put inside our papers. So you've probably done this process before. You just take the brads, you pull them up. You don't want to do this too often because the brads could break after a while from the stress of opening and closing your folder. Take the pieces of paper, carefully put them on the brads. You may want to double check before you think you're finished. Close this thing up. Double check your brads, make sure that they're inside. And then with these, you want one brad to go the other way, the other brad to go the other on each one. So there's 3. This makes it nice and safe so these won't fall out. Now you have your process journal. How you complete this is up to you. I'm gonna go over basics of each page, and then I'm gonna let you get started. For most of these directions, you'll need a pencil. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start with the very first page. It asks you the artist, that's your name, so write your name there. Ask you your grade level, which could be 3 through 5. Those are the grades I'm having start visual journals right now. And then your specials group. You're either gonna put Bolstad or Boatfield. You're probably with me if you're watching this video right now. This is where you get to draw you. Just try your best. You can use color, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils. I'll have those too on any of these pages. I realize it says beginning of the year. I know it's not the beginning of the year. That's because we've been so busy with projects. I haven't had time for y'all to create visual journals. I've just have y'all spent time on creating your fun projects. This over here, tell me some of your favorites. My favorite subject is art. My favorite hobby is painting. Food is pizza. My favorite color is yellow. And my favorite song is Express Yourself. Draw or write about what you hope to learn this year in the art studio. So anything in the art room. This could be anything. It could be that you are drawing more clay. Maybe you want to learn how to do metalworking or something in Mrs. Bolstad's class. You can draw that down here. I'm going to let this part be up to you. This one can stump people, so I hope you're paying attention because this one could be the most confusing. This one is called the elements of art. Most of these you should know, and some of them you may not. The elements of art are line, shape, value, texture, color, form, and space. On the middle table, I'll have a few of the 5th grade art textbooks. These are for 3, 4, and 5 grades to use. They're all pretty much gonna help you, so it doesn't really matter what grade you're in. Open to page 20 and 21. It's gonna go over the elements of art just in case you didn't know. Shape, obviously, is shape. Form just means anything that is 3D. Texture just means anything that you can feel. Value is the light to dark. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Space is the area around, between, and within objects. So you could draw maybe some boxes or on the floor, I don't know. Line is just line, y'all should know that one. And color is color. So over here, you're going to find ways to show what these words mean without writing the definition. For line, I'm just drawing different line types. For shape, I'm doing different shape types. Now, value is the one that seems to confuse people. Just think of light to dark things. It could be a value scale where you're drawing a shape like a rectangle, and then as it gets more to the right, you're drawing harder and harder so that the pencil is getting darker and darker. And by the end, when it gets to the very end of the box, you're basically coloring it in really hard because you're showing the difference, how things can get from light to dark. This one is a really bad example because I'm rushing because I want to show you guys the rest of this packet that we're doing. Texture is anything that you can feel. You could draw hair. You could draw, I don't know, I'm gonna think of a Minecraft diamond block. Maybe that's really shiny, so I'm gonna do little symbols that help me remember that it's shiny. That would count as texture. Texture could be a starfish, anything that's rough. Anything that you can feel would count as texture. Color, well, that's probably gonna be the easiest one. Like I said, you can use markers, crayons, colored pencils. I'll have those in the middle of the table. Anything that you want to complete this project. Color, however, needs to have color. So for color, I made it simple and just drew a basic color wheel. It's up to you how you want to do it. Please don't get form and shape messed up because a lot of people will put a 3D shape for shape because that makes sense. A 3D shape does count as a shape, but it's technically considered a form. This is where you could draw a box or a cylinder or a sphere. You could add value to make it more realistic to show that it's form. Space, that one can be a little bit confusing as well. The easiest way to do it is to, I don't know, draw space between two things. So maybe I have a person over here. This part that you see here is the clay building technique sheet. This is only for 5th grade because 5th grade used pinch, coil, and slab techniques to make their goblet. What they would do is if they're doing this, they're drawing the different parts of the goblet that they used the certain ones on. So for instance, the pinch pot was the cup, the coil, that was the stem, and the slab, that was the base. So they would be drawing those different parts. 5th grade, do not worry about additive and do not worry about subtractive. All groups 3, 4, and 5 need to finish the front, the back of the first page. 5th grade needs to complete the clay building techniques. However, every single group needs to choose one design challenge. Don't worry about this random color wheel, we'll worry about that next time. Design challenge number 1. Draw an android, robot, or cyborg that will help you in your daily life with your homework, chores, etc. That's one choice. You have some other choices. You could draw number 2, if it would focus. Create your own symbol, superhero symbol. It could be a family crest or an image that is meaningful to you. So that could also be an option. Or you could choose design challenge 3. Draw a bowl of something unusual that someone would not expect. Example, instead of a bowl of fruit, maybe you could draw a bowl full of trash. So I want you to pick one design challenge, draw it. Please add color. You can use colored pencils, markers, whatever you need. I have crayons too. And then on the back, don't worry about this. This is what we'll complete on the very last day of using our process journals. And then this last page right here with the blank, that's for you to do free draw if you finish early. If you do finish early, one other thing you could do is start designing the front, the cover. You could do designs, or maybe you have your own idea. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna think about it for a second. I decided to do a little bit of Zentangle. If you are gonna decorate the front cover, I would suggest Sharpie. I've seen that these markers don't do the best job unless your folder's made out of paper. If yours is plastic like mine, stick to the Sharpie. Alrighty guys, if you finish everything that I've asked you finish, the front, the back of the front page, 5th grade doing the clay building techniques, and then completed one design challenge, like I said, you can free draw on the last page, or you can start a new activity if you've already decorated your cover. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoy your day. We'll have our clay projects back soon enough. Please don't ask me. I want you to focus on the process journals today. Goodbye.